It is what it is.
Now that we've just gone on for 5 minutes, how we should just be thankful for what we get and enjoy it. Morbius has bombed.
Yeah. I was hopeful somewhat that it wouldn't be absolutely terrible. I haven't yet to see it, and neither of you, I know that. So
Yeah. I mean,
that
I've been
speaks
very
a lot.
vocal of my concerns.
Mm.
Based on the reviews I've read, spoiler-free reviews, because I do still plan on seeing it at some point. Based on the reviews I've read, my concerns are feeling quite validated. As I predicted, Matt Smith apparently gave a very good performance in a poor scripted film. Apparently, a lot of the teases for what universes it might be and who they might interact with were just to try and get people to go see it, and they didn't pay off in any meaningful way. Michael Keaton's parts within the film were cut. He was just in a post-credit scene. Do you mind if I discuss the post-credit scene, Horry? Bearing in mind you haven't seen it, I've seen the post-credit scene.
I haven't seen it, but I don't mind.
So the two post-credit scenes are, one is okay. So let me try and get this right here. So when the shithousery at the end of No Way Home took place, somehow Michael Keaton got transported to Morbius's universe.
Okay.
Where he was still in prison. But of course, he's done nothing wrong in this universe, so he was released from said prison. Then somehow magically, he still has his super suit.
Okay.
And locates Michael Morbius and says, I feel like guys like us should stick together.
Right.
And then apparently the second post-credit scene is a scene of Michael Morbius driving a car and the Vulture flying above him. I don't know what to say.
This lines up with like one of the few reviews or things I saw, which was Sony is trying in their own way to tie things in, but with no care for how it actually ties in. They're trying to pull things from the MCU to make it feel like their films tie in, but without consulting the MCU.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things I read, and I was like, God, this is going to be a mess.
Apparently, the only time the CGI looked good was in like the Howard Discovery scene where he realizes what his abilities are, and after that it gets a bit sketchy. The highlight of the film is apparently Matt Smith dancing around shirtless, getting ready after getting his powers.
Sounds, and from what there was another review, it's like this is a superhero movie from 2008. Like it hasn't evolved with the current style of, I guess, superhero films. It's too stuck in the old way of doing them. Does that make sense?
At the end of the day, I respect anyone who is going to work as hard as actors and actresses and artists do on these films. However, I am sick of Jared Leto getting let off being in these horrific films.
There's only so much you can blame on their own.
Exactly. I'm willing to give him a little bit of, maybe the Suicide Squad film where he was the Joker wasn't completely his fault. He filmed a lot of good stuff that just got cut. Okay, cool. If that's the stuff they chose to leave in that film with him, though, still not fucking great. And then to go and do Morbius, and it be just as bad, and apparently he gave a very bleh performance. I just find myself going, I don't like him as a person for stuff that he has done and said and behaved and all of that. And I will admit I'm someone who struggles to separate the art from the artist. and I'm not trying to start a debate over can you, should you, when can't you, blah blah blah. But that's just me personally. So me disliking him as a person definitely feeds into this. I'm not going to pretend it doesn't. But if he gave phenomenal performances, I would be able to get past it.
Mm.
He's not though. He's bang average at best. And I just don't want to see him on the big screen again.
It's like he's been in a couple of these bad superhero films now. And it's almost like a red flag of like, if no one else is getting cast for these, maybe that's a reason. Like, maybe they don't think the writing's good enough, so they're not taking it.
Yeah. In a world where superhero films done well are guaranteed money, why has an actor not seen that Morbius script and gone, I'll be fucking Michael Morbius? Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. It's Sony, there's so many examples of how to do a good superhero film, but still somehow Sony keeps ignoring it and trying to do their own thing, and time after time it's just not working. Yeah, it's just...
I feel like the only thing they've done right with their films has been the Spider-Verse films.
Yeah.
And do you want to know why that is?
It's animation.
Because it's animation, the heads of Sony don't even give it a second thought because it's just animation. So they leave it alone.
They leave it to writers that know how to write animation things and animation studios that know how to properly put together an animated film.
It's the exact same thing we see with DC stuff. DC live action, the head honchos who know nothing see it's live action and feel the need to get involved. Their animated stuff is fucking phenomenal because it's just animated, so they just can't be asked and they leave it alone, and it works beautifully. I just don't understand why.
At this point with Sony, like, I just wonder, like, why they've seen the success they've got from working with Disney.
Yeah, exactly.
And doing it together with Spider-Man, how successful that's been. I don't understand why they don't just go, okay, we're not giving you these rights, but we are making an agreement that we will work 50-50 on these. Anytime you want to use our character, we're a 50-50 thing, but you are allowed to use them into your MCU.
Exactly. And there's no way that we wouldn't see the likes of Venom and Carnage used in the MCU. They're brilliant characters. So it's not like Sony would then just have them characters sitting there not making them any money because they get used. If these were like really like minor characters who the MCU would never even want to use, I'd be like, okay, cool, I get it. They're sitting there, they can make you money, fair enough. But just there's no need for it. But like I said, I don't like. I said this to you the other day. I don't like sitting here going, "Ha ha! I was right. I told you all it was going to be shit." When I haven't even seen it yet. I will get to see it, but I'm not in a rush to go see it. Yeah, when I eventually do see it, I'll bring it up and discuss it. But it's always sad to see a comic book film bomb, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it was one of those where like from the get-go, it was very much like, is this gonna be any good? So it's not a surprise at all.